Very good afternoon. Welcome back to our coverage of the Stockholm Open Tennis. It's the second day of this tournament, rich in history. First stage way back in 1969, but a tournament that has graced the very finest players in the history of the game. Among them, Roger Federer, Bjorn Borg, John McEnroe, Boris Becker and many others. And we have a packed programme on this second day. We also have one or two developments to bring you, with a couple of players sadly having to withdraw through injury. Peter Gojowczyk of Germany was due to play America's Marcus Giron, but sadly Giron has had to withdraw through illness, so opportunity knocks for Jozef Kovalík of Slovakia, who would only have got the nod around about half an hour ago that he was going to get the opportunity to play, having lost in qualifying. And another player who has had to withdraw, Jordan Thompson of Australia, also apparently feeling poorly. So Nino Zadarusic of Croatia will take his place in the draw. Other matches to come later on. Andrea Pavasori of Italy against Pavel Kotov of Russia, both players having come through qualifying. And then not before 6 o'clock in the evening local time, it's the wild card, the home favourite Elias Ymer against a player who's produced some outstanding tennis during 2021, Francis Tiafoe, our 8th seed
we have all
in the United States.
So if you want to challenge, just make it clear. We have TV changeovers, the time in the two corners, and for the towel we have boxes in each corner. You can get the closest one from the net, and you take the furthest one, okay? In each corner we have two boxes, you know, number 9 and 10, but it's just numbers everywhere, so it's not easy. So you take the closest one from the net, and you take the furthest one, okay? No questions? No? ATP or World?
World, please.
World. World.
I surf.
You surf? Have a good one.
The second day of the Stockholm Open. It's Peter Gojowczyk against Jozef Kovalík. German against the Slovak. Just a reminder of how these players fit into the draw. Shapovalov, of course, who won this title when the tournament was last staged back in 2019, is seeded 3. He awaits the winner of the match between our two qualifiers, which will be the second match on today. Pavasori and Kotov. The winner of the one coming up to play the Bublik or Rinderknech. Bublik seeded 6th. Peter Gojowczyk, 32 years of age, hails from Munich, turned pro back in 2006, currently ranked at 85, but of course he has been as high as 39 in the world. That was in the summer of 2018, and he's had some impressive results during this season. He's put together 13 victories on the tour, including a semi-final appearance in Montpellier, where he lost to Roberto Bautista Agut, and also in Metz as a qualifier. Came through to then beat Achinov and the aforementioned Giron before losing to a player who's had an outstanding year, Hurkacz, of course, of Poland, Miami champion and Wimbledon semi-finalist, who is in the World Tour Finals, which gets underway on Sunday. One career title, as you can see, that came in Metz back in 2017. Also on an indoor hard court like this one. And he came through qualifying to win that event. In fact, it was a very busy tournament for him, 7 wins in 8 days. But this is a strange scenario, really, for Kovalík. Clearly, he thought that his tournament was done. He lost to Denis Istomin, who's in action later in the second round of qualifying, 6-4, 7-5. having beaten Danilo Petrovic in the first round in a tight one, which went to 2 tie breaks. And as I say, he wouldn't have got the call much more than half an hour or so ago. So clearly an opportunity that he wasn't expecting, but equally he hasn't had much chance to prepare. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes. 29 years of age, ranked 135. He has been a top 100 player though. His career high of 80. And he's had some decent results, particularly in the challenges this season, including the last 4 appearances in Belgrade, semi-finals in Warsaw, and on the tour, quarter-final appearances in Cordoba in Argentina and in Kitzbühel in Austria, where he beat Jaume Munar and Yuri Vesely before losing to Pedro Martinez. That career high came 3 years ago now, but he has been a Tour semi-finalist on a couple of occasions, Sofia and Hamburg. That was back in 2018. He also has a victory against the former US Open champion and Wimbledon finalist Marin Cilic on his CV. That was in Chennai when he came through qualifying to topple Cilic, who was then ranked number 6 in the world. But he's never won a main draw match in a Grand Slam, 0-9 in that regard. He has 5 challenger titles to his name. Terrific tournament this, of course. Next-gen star Jannik Sinner is our top seed, who's won 4 ATP Tour titles this year. Time for day 2 of the Stockholm Open. Peter Gojowczyk against Jozef Kovalík. Place in the round of 16 up for grabs. Jannik Sinner, by the way, of course, awaits the winner of the match between Viktor Jurasevic, the qualifier, and the former world number 1 Andy Murray, whom, of course, Sinner practices with. So that's a potential eye-catching second round match. Sinner, of course, as top seed, has a bye into the last 16. So we're ready to go. How is the lucky loser going to fare? Gojowczyk looking to apply early pressure, try and achieve a break right off the bat. Really going after this forehand, but just overcooking it. Just missed the sideline. High quality exchange there. Good deep hitting from both players. So this has been a pretty confident start from the man who an hour or so ago was not expecting to be competing today. Just missed the sideline. Now to get an early hold of serve under his belt would boost the confidence. Entirely convinced that that big second serve up the tee was wide, but no challenge. It was sweetly struck. Kovalík was just moving to his right there. And the depth of the forehand from Gojowczyk just wrong-footing him sufficiently to make it tricky for the Slovak to respond. So from 40-15 to deuce. Excellent serving.
Advantage, Gojowczyk.
So Gojowczyk has laboured away in this lengthy opening game to force a first breakpoint opportunity. Just mistiming that forehand as much frame of the racket as the strings there from the Slovak. Oh, it was an opportunity for Gojowczyk just to steer that ball up the line off the drop shot. He got there in time. Moving into the ball, but just couldn't direct it as he wanted. Gojowczyk just 1 from 5 when he misses his first serve. I should say.
Advantage, Kovalík.
And that's an important hold for the lucky loser. Had to work hard, had to fend off the break point. Gojowczyk will look back on that opportunity to just guide the backhand winner up the line, which would have given him the early break, but Kovalík hangs on. Lengthy opening game, but he won't care now that he's won it. So the man who made the last 4 on tour this season, Montpellier and Metz to serve. Aside from those tour semi-finals, of course, Gojowczyk had a terrific run at the US Open.
15-0.
Came through qualifying and went all the way to the second week, beating the likes of Hugo Humbert, Dusan Lajovic and Henri Laaksonen, before losing a tight one to the emerging star Carlos Alcaraz. 5 sets. That's lovely. Using the full width of the court, crowd appreciating that. He is a resilient player, Gojowczyk. He's won 7 of his 8 matches that have gone to a decider this season. Point aborted there because the ball was still rolling. That US Open run. Oh, it's huge. It's huge. Kovalík's going to challenge. But on the run, a spectacular forehand hit with tremendous power up the line. Did it just shave the line? Wonderful strike. Oh, it was smack on the line. What a shot. Yeah, that US Open run featured 3 consecutive wins from a set down, which kind of backs up the point about Gojowczyk. He's got great resilience. This time just missing with the off forehand.
Mr. Kovalík has 2 challenges.
So Kovalík loses one of his challenges. Yet to land a first serve in this game.
Deuce. Advantage, Gojowczyk.
He's got a couple of top 10 wins on his CV, Gojowczyk, Milos Raonic and Jack Sock. Really struggling though with the rhythm on his first serve at the moment. He's still to land one. tremendous power. That is a shot that is very much his forte, the backhand up the line. A couple of spectacular winners in that game. His serve not really firing, but he came up with some tremendous ground strokes, none better than the one you're about to see, opening up the court there with the cross court and then drilled up the line superbly. Look at the depth on it. So battle joined. Disturbance in the stadium here. Sounds like someone's playing their favourite music. Again, the backhand up the line. This time just a little too deep. It's a good aggressive second serve return, looking to get on the front foot. Every opportunity here, Gojowczyk. It's been an encouraging start from Slovak's point of view. Managing to hang on to his serve, facing down the break point in his first service game, and now hoping that this one will be rather more serene. Oh, he's just missed it. It's the right play because Gojowczyk was moving to his left, just couldn't quite guide that slice backhand up the line. And it was a good body serve as well. Gojowczyk actually did well to make the return. Fans young and old in the house, looking forward to the second day of the Stockholm Open.
Game Kovalík.
So Kovalík continuing to make a promising start to this match that he was not expecting to play. The lucky loser leading on serve, 2-1, first set. Just a reminder that we've had a couple of withdrawals on this second day. Marcus Giron of the USA was supposed to be playing Gojowczyk, but has withdrawn through illness, and it's a similar story with Australia's Jordan Thompson, who was due to play Van der Sandschlup in the opening round. Instead, it'll be Croatia's Nino Serdarusic who'll take his place. Welcome back. Our first match of the scheduled 4 singles matches on this second day of the Stockholm Open. To follow this one, it'll be Andrea Bassavori of Italy against Russia's Pavel Kotov, who both came through qualifying, and they're not before 6 o'clock local time here in Sweden. Elias Ymer, the wild card, against the number 8 seed Francis Tiafoe, who's enjoyed 2 victories this year over Stefanos Tsitsipas, including, of course, at Wimbledon. He's also beaten Andy Murray this year, Tiafoe. Our final match, Denis Istomin against Filip Krajinovic. So Gojowczyk serving at 1-2 in this first set.
Please.
Love 15.
Just down. Smart play from Gojowczyk. Angled the drop shot very nicely, and try as he might, and he did try extremely hard. He just couldn't quite make up the acreage there. Kovalík. Remarkable. Gojowczyk has still not landed a first serve. And a second double fault, so these are freebies for the lucky loser. Opportunity here at 15:30. Just missed it.
13.
He hits the ball with plenty of pace and pretty flat, Gojowczyk, and really leaned into that backhand, but Kovalík defended well, just couldn't quite guide that one in court. Finally a first serve, and of course the irony is he doesn't win the point off it. From 11 prior to that. But here's a chance for the underdog. Wow. Bit of a gift there from the German. A couple of double faults, really struggling with the rhythm on his first serve. He's only landed it once in 13 attempts. And so it's Kovalík who strikes first in this opening set. Yeah, excellent play. Gojowczyk doing well to make the initial return. Kovalík must be delighted with the start he's made, looking very solid. Of course, he has played a couple of matches, winning one and then losing to Istomin in the second round of qualies. So well used to the conditions and speed of the court here.
40 love.
And that's been the difference, really. The quality of the serving. Kovalík significantly more consistent in that regard, landing his first serve 65% of the time, winning more than 3/4 of those points.
Net, first service.
Clearly growing in confidence, he just collected that one up the line.
Kovalík leads 4 games.
So at the moment, making the most of his unexpected opportunity today as he leads with the break, 4 games to 1. Plenty of deep runs at challenger level this year for Kovalík. Semi-final in Warsaw, where he lost to our other lucky loser who'll be in action as a result of Jordan Thompson's withdrawal, Nino Serdarusic, but also quarterfinals in Braunschweig. Como made the last 4 on the clay in Belgrade as well, on top of those 2 last 8 appearances on the tour in 2021. The audience building up, with 3 matches still to come on centre court today.
Time.
But for the favourite at the outset, some problems, and most notably his inability to land his first serve. Just 1 so far for Gojowczyk in 14 attempts. It's not getting any better. Yeah, getting frustrated. I'm not surprised. He's hit some fine winners, but look at that. That is a damning stat from the German's point of view. At last. Good deal of anger expelled with that delivery up the tee. Something of a free hit here for Kovalík, given that he's got the break advantage already. Trying to hit the wrong footing, backhand up the line, but just too long. It's almost as though Gojowczyk is rushing his serve at the moment. But then suddenly can unload with that cross-court backhand. He's done some damage with that in this set. It's just the 1 break, of course, so he can find some rhythm on serve. This set isn't done yet, and that will make him feel a bit better. Holding to 15.
Kovalík leads 4 games to 2.
It magnifies the importance of that protracted opening game when Gojowczyk forced the break point. Had the opportunity to clinch it as well. Got to the drop shot in time, just couldn't quite guide the backhand into court. Kovalík holding on and since then, he's played well. A couple of service holds away from bagging this opening set, the lucky loser. 4-2. He's winning 4 out of 5 points when he does land with that first serve. Always a bit risky playing that inside-in forehand, exposing a lot of court there, and Gojowczyk punishing Kovalík with the depth. Bit of a lung buster, that exchange. Again, good depth from the German. Getting the ball right down at the feet of Kovalík, barely before he was through his service action, which forced the error. So, an opportunity here to potentially get break-back points. Excellent response, though, from Kovalík. Good serve, positive move forward. Couldn't quite put the volley away, but the lob wasn't going to trouble him. Tremendous hitting, it really is. It's the ball so flat and early. Getting himself G'd up here, Gojowczyk. It's been a frustrating set so far. But here's an opportunity to restore parity in terms of breaks of serve.
Let's first service.
Three out of 7 on second serve. And he's found the corner of the court. Or has he?
On the left far sideline, ball was called in.
Immediate challenge from Kovalík, and Gojowczyk didn't look entirely convinced that it was good either. Must be close. Orkai will tell us. It shaved the line. What a hit. And there is the break back. So the German has fought his way back into contention despite having a bit of a nightmare on serve in this set. And So it's proving to be a very competitive opening set, a really impressive start from the lucky loser. Bears repeating that his preparation time was next to nothing. He's got a very late call that he'd be required with the withdrawal through illness of America's Marcus Giron. And he's put up an impressive showing thus far. He'll be frustrated, of course, to have lost the break of serve, but this set's still very much in the balance. With a place in the round of 16 up for grabs here in Stockholm. So a service break apiece and some more seriously heavy hitting in that game from Gojowczyk. Ranked at 85, but remember he has been a top 40 player as recently as the summer of 2018. Put together 13 wins on tour this season. A couple of semi-finals, including that memorable run, of course, to the 4th round of the US Open as a qualifier. But so far, Jozef Kovalík has competed very well, but pegged back in terms of service breaks. New balls.
15 love.
If he can start to find a groove on that serve, the balance of this match might change quite quickly. Gojowczyk has the greater firepower.
Be
a little frustrated not to have made that second serve return. Still only 3 out of 20 in terms of landing that first serve, Gojowczyk.
40 love.
Defending his second serve pretty well, which is just as well, really. Around about 60% in that regard. Another emphatic forehand into the open court, the drive volley, and a swift hold to get back to parity. And this time, firepower comes from the racket of the Slovak. That was sweetly struck forehand.
40-15.
Short return and got plenty of underspin on that drop shot, which is always going to force Gojowczyk into a defensive shot, knowing the easy put away to the Slovak for 2 game points. Good serving. He's been rather better in that department in this set as he edges back in front. So a break apiece, and now Gojowczyk with the extra pressure of serving to save this opening set against the lucky loser. 38 minutes, Kovalík 5-4. Great field this week at the Stockholm Open. Of course, the top seed is Jannik Sinner, the Italian who's won 4 titles this year and only just missed out on a place in the ATP World Tour Finals in Turin, which starts at the weekend. Last champion here in 2019, Denis Shapovalov. Felix Auger-Aliassime is the number 2 seed, and of course Andy Murray, the former world number 1, also in action. In the meantime, Peter Gojowczyk still trying to find some sort of rhythm on that serve, serving to save the set. And it's a good deep off backhand return from the Slovak Kovalík to put some early pressure on. Looks determined, doesn't he?
Length of service.
Nearly another fault. Now at 22% the first serves. One stage he was down at 7%. That was half a chance for Kovalík to turn the screw. It was a good deep return which rushed Gojowczyk. Much better.
30-15.
German then still very much under pressure here at 30-all 4-5. A timely first serve landed. So Gojowczyk holds serve. When he does land that serve, it's effective, but it's hardly landed at all today. 7 out of 28. That's been his problem, but he has been able to get himself back into the set, having been 4-1 down. This is where Kovalík has struggled a little to defend that second serve. 3 out of 11 so far.
Love 15.
German continuing to be ultra aggressive. Very good. Well placed first serve. Gojowczyk did pretty well with the return, but Kovalík had it covered. Opportunity goes begging there for Gojowczyk. Again, looking to take the return very early. And he set up the court. The net got in the way. So having led 4-1, the pressure now firmly on Kovalík's shoulders at 30-all, 5-all in this first set. Foot fault called. Kovalík clearly not happy about that. Now, is that going to shake his equilibrium with this second serve in mind? At a crucial juncture in this set. There's your answer, and thought about demolishing his racket, but here is an opportunity for Gojowczyk to set up the chance to serve for the set when he was in a very precarious position at 1-4 down. .29%, second serve points won. Oh, well played. Held his nerve there. Just tucking in the forehand behind Gojowczyk. Just waited before he pulled the trigger there. Saw his opponent moving in the opposite direction. Held his nerve impressively to save a crucial break point.
Mr. Gojowczyk is changing the goal on the left baseline. Ball was called out.
Belatedly, Gojowczyk goes for the challenge. I think he's going to be disappointed.
Call sense. Advantage correct.
Oh, what an opportunity missed there. And what a big hold that is. for Jozef Kovalík, who was break point down following a foot fault. And Gojowczyk will feel that is a big opportunity spurned. And so this set remains in the balance. Are we going all the way? Gojowczyk serving at 5-6. A bit of a roller coaster this set, with Jozef Kovalík impressing initially, having got the late call to stand in for Marcus Giron, getting the break. Peter Gojowczyk struggling in all sorts of ways to land that first serve, but managing nonetheless to claw back the break, and he had opportunities there to get what was potentially a decisive one in this set. It wasn't to be. Intriguing stuff in our opening match on the second day of the Stockholm Open. Peter Gojowczyk of Germany, who was expecting to play Marcus Giron, who sadly had to withdraw feeling ill. So instead, facing Slovakia's Jozef Kovalík, who's put up more than a stern challenge thus far. He was a break-up at 4-1. And crucially, from his point of view, he's just saved his serve when it looked as though Gojowczyk was going to get the break to serve for the set. And that is like gold dust in this set for Gojowczyk, an ace, his first of the day. Just looked a little tentative in playing that volley.
15-0. The
pressure now switching back to the German. Oh, well played. Great footwork there from Gojowczyk. To get himself into position to pummel away that inside-out forehand. Good response from throwing in his fourth double fault to move to game point. And to take us to a tie break. Shortish second serve though, and Kovalík needed no second invitation. Took it on the rise, up the line. Seen that a few times already. Ball toss aborted. And again, frustration for Gojowczyk, and no wonder, because having got so close to getting a break in the previous Kovalík service game, he's now facing set point on his own serve. Desperately needs a first serve here. Oh, that's an excellent volley. Really gutsy stuff there from Gojowczyk. Under the cosh at 30-40 down. It was a decent backhand right into the body of Gojowczyk, but he held firm with the volley. Set on a knife edge at the moment. Oh, it's a monster return winner. We've seen a few of those today from Gojowczyk, but now Kovalík getting in on the act, absolutely collected that one. Spectacular stuff for another set point for the lucky loser. That is the last thing Gojowczyk needs right now. Oh, he's done well again. Well, it is one of his trademarks, his resilience, Gojowczyk. He's got tremendous temperament under pressure. Right on the cusp of losing this set a couple of times here, but he's come up with the goods both times and now moves to a point for a first set tie break. What a fascinating set it's been. Excellent, really good stuff there. Again, super aggressive tennis from Gojowczyk. Wrong footing Kovalík in that rally and wasting no time in getting into the net to take control of the rally. So after 55 minutes, we're going the distance here. It's been a fascinating opening set. Full of shifts of momentum, but this was really good stuff again here. Getting into the net, and the defensive backhand on the run from Kovalík was never going to be good enough. So, a tie break required to determine who goes a set to the good here. Gojowczyk has won 4 of his 7 tie breaks on the tour this year. Kovalík has lost the only one he's contested. Oh. Oh. That's got to frustrate Gojowczyk. One of the best first serves he's hit all set, but it just shaved the top of the net. That was mighty close as well, yeah.
On the right center service line, Bob was called.
Well, absolute in the chair. I'm not surprised Gojowczyk is challenging this one. Look very, very adjacent. More than that, it was good. So just signs that he's gradually picking up that first serve as this set has gone on. Has the mini break.
Gojowczyk.
Looking to keep that angled volley tight to the net, but just not timing it as he wanted to. So the break back immediately achieved by Kovalík. Hard to pick a winner in this opening set. It has been very, very tight.
2-0. Three, two, Gojowczyk.
So a couple of times Gojowczyk has had the mini break advantage, but hasn't been able to capitalise on it. And at the midway point of this breaker, still anyone's guess as to who's going to prevail in this first set. Been going an hour now. Got a lot of firepower with those ground strokes of his, Gojowczyk. Well, it threatened just to dribble over the net. It was well played by Kovalík because it was a deep return. Well, that just magnifies the tightness of this set. Who is going to finally get the better of things? Good defence from the German, but Kovalík holding his nerve under the high ball to put the smash away. Another defiant shake of the racket from him. To take a couple of steps back, but he was secure under the high ball. He's had a couple of set points already. Gojowczyk producing some really steely tennis to save them before the tie break. Again, Gojowczyk doing well with the depth of his backhand there, because it was almost a half volley pickup for him. Still nothing to choose.
Mr. Kovalík is joining the court. On the left center service line, ball was called in.
Yes, I'm not convinced that Kovalík thinks this is in, or rather thinks it's out, and that the challenge will be successful. And he was right to be concerned. Pretty much smack on the line.
Call stands. 6-5 Gojowczyk.
So although we remain on serve, it's now a set point for Peter Gojowczyk. Oh! 35% success when he misses the first serve in this opening set. Kovalík, big one coming up here. And there finally is the set for the favourite. Goodness me, he's had to work for it. What a marathon battle that was, full of twists and turns, but Gojowczyk once again showing his resilience under pressure, saving a couple of set points on his own serve and coming through a tight tie-break by 7 points to 5. Well, that first set was really about the firepower of Gojowczyk off the ground, but also the woes that he was suffering with his first serve. In the end, he finished with 36% of first serves in, but at one stage it was way down in the single digits, so at least he was able to improve as the set went on. His opponent, remember, a lucky loser today, who only got very short notice that he'd be playing this match, much more solid with his serve, but as you can see, he struggled to defend his second serve as well as his opponent. He did have opportunities at the back end of the set, but Gojowczyk produced some really nerveless tennis to save those 2 set points, and eventually the pressure told in the tiebreak. Well, that was a tough set in the end for the lucky loser. He invested a lot of energy, ultimately to no avail. Jozef Kovalík, of course, had a couple of set points, but it wasn't as though he missed golden opportunities to take them. It was the quality of Gojowczyk's tennis under extreme pressure which saved them. And although he was able to retrieve a couple of mini breaks in the tie break, which was just as competitive as the set had been, ultimately it is Gojowczyk who has that first set on the board. So will there be a bit of a reaction at the start of this second set for the lucky loser, or can he maintain his standards and turn this into a real thriller? Gojowczyk serving with the first set in the bag, and that's much more like the way he wants to be serving in this set after his travails in that regard in the first. I certainly wouldn't have ruled Gojowczyk out of this match, even if he'd lost that first set. Talked about his resilience. He's managed to win 7 out of his 13 matches this season, which have gone to a decider after he lost the opening set. So once again, proof that he fights for every ball, even when he's in a precarious position. Not the best drop shot, though, from the German. Gave Kovalík a lot of time.
40-15.
But still a couple of game points to start this second set on the right foot. He is a very clean hitter of a tennis ball, and you can just tell that there's a spring in the step now of Gojowczyk. He came pretty close to losing that first set. He was in all kinds of trouble at 4-1 down, retrieved the break, and then having to fend off the 2 set points with his serve seriously malfunctioning. He did well in the end. And the body language in that set, or that game of this second set, evidence that he's feeling a whole lot better for having avoided having to come from a set down to get this job done today. play the 6th seed, Alexander Bublik of Kazakhstan, or the Frenchman Arthur Rinderknecht. Next up, it'll be the qualifiers, Vavasori and Kotov. Such an effective shot, that backhand cross-court. He's hit a couple of beauties up the line as well on the backhand side. Kovalík, hands on hips, has called for Hawkeye. But to the naked eye, it looked good. Doesn't get any better, does it? Look at that. By a millimetre.
Love 15.
To compound the Slovaks' frustrations here, having lost that very competitive first set.
Mr. Kovalík has 2 challenges remaining.
The challenge for Kovalík here is to hold firm mentally after the disappointment of coming so close to taking that marathon set without doing so. Easier said than done, but he's proved he can be very competitive today. Again, Gojowczyk looking to apply extreme pressure with the depth of his returns. Get on the front foot early in the rally, uses greater firepower to dictate. Well played. Not for the first time today. Kovalík able to just take his time before picking his spot. Wrong footing his opponent. This has been impressive stuff when you consider the circumstances in which he took to the court today. Very little time to prepare, virtually none in fact, with the late withdrawal of Garone. But you wouldn't have thought that was the case with the standard he's produced.
Advantage Kovalík.
Just wide this time.
Game Kovalík.
So Kovalík holds on.
One game.
That's an important hold given the circumstances in which he lost that first set, which would have been extremely frustrating for him. Vital from his point of view that he hangs tough here with Gojowczyk in the early stages of set 2.
15 love.
So, potential window of opportunity here for the lucky loser. Gojowczyk 5 from 8 at the start of this second set on first serve. In terms of landing it, that one goes astray though.
Left second set.
Heart in the mouth for the moment as that cord intervenes. Oh, that's a little wild from Gojowczyk, and so Slovak does have an opportunity to score what would be a morale-boosting early break in this second set. Wow. What a time to throw in a double fault. And so, Jozef Kovalík gets the early break in set 2. Can he hang on to it this time and take this match all the way? Early stages of set 2. Exactly the start that the Slovak wanted to this second set after coming so close to taking the first, but equally for Peter Gojowczyk, frustration. Having got that first set in the bag, which he looked like losing, would have hoped to have really stamped his authority on this set at the start of proceedings. But the double fault proving to be very expensive. So this match takes another turn. Pretty unpredictable fare thus far this afternoon. It's been very watchable though, some terrific hitting, particularly from Peter Gojowczyk, who's had all kinds of issues with his serve and in particular landing his first deal as often as he'd like. And now a double fault to illustrate that point has given up a service break. So the man who stepped in at very short notice for Marcus Giron of the United States, who's feeling ill, Jozef Kovalík, has the break advantage, but trailing by a set. Gojowczyk with the first set tiebreak. Depth of the Gojowczyk ball has been putting Kovalík under a lot of pressure throughout this match. On occasion rushing him into the error.
30-15.
But he's been serving pretty consistently in contrast to his opponent. Landing that first serve 70% of the time in this second set. And overall 63, which is okay. Winning 3/4 of those points. It's the second serve that has proved to be a little vulnerable at 38%. Frustration for Slovak. Set up the point, looking to wrong foot Gojowczyk here, having opened up the court, but just didn't time the forehand, and that's what he thought of it. So Gojowczyk gets an immediate break back opportunity. Long, and the break of serve immediately retrieved.
2 games off.
So the world number 85 back on terms. His fifth ace, as against 6 double faults. Such a good return. But the mid-court ball proved to be a little awkward for Kovalík. He's definitely picking up that first serve now. Can only really go one way after the state it was in the early stages of set 1. Much better, much better from the German. And having retrieved the break, that was an emphatic hold of serve to keep the pressure on the lucky loser. Can Gojowczyk get this done in straight sets and move through to the round of 16 here in Stockholm? He leads by set, 3-2 on serve in the second. What a tournament this has proved to be down the years, and some of the all-time greats have graced this stage here at the Stockholm Open, the likes of John McEnroe, 7-time Grand Slam champion, Boris Becker, who of course had a wonderful Wimbledon pedigree. They've both won this title a record 4 times. Roger Federer as well. Bjorn Borg and John McEnroe, who enjoyed that legendary rivalry at the start of the 80s. Contested a couple of meetings here. McEnroe won the first way back in 1978. And then in 1980, the year that they played 2 epic Grand Slam finals at Wimbledon and the US Open, winning 1 apiece, Borg was able to win in straight sets to claim his only title. Of course, we saw his son Leo in action yesterday in a losing cause against Tommy Paul of the United States. Oh, just trying to sort of guide that short return into play, but couldn't find the sideline. So Jozef Kovalík, who came within a point on a couple of occasions of bagging the opening set and had a break advantage in this one, now under pressure again. Yeah, good hit.
15-0.
It's not going away, Kovalík. Would have been very tough. First set loss, given the circumstances, but still proving to be very competitive. It's been the pattern throughout the match. Gojowczyk looking to get on the front foot, really attack the ball, keep it deep, keep Kovalík on the defensive. He's done it pretty effectively. On the other hand, Kovalík has been rather more consistent on serve, which is why this match remains very much in the balance. First set lasting over an hour, this one now 25 minutes old as we reach the midway point. better from Gojowczyk in this set on serve. He's landing that first deal 60% of the time now. Remember, it was down in single digits in the first set. At one stage, I think it was around 1 out of 16. But he hasn't been able to shake off the attentions of Kovalík yet. The ball very flat, so when the timing isn't quite there, it can result in a bit of a shank, as that one was. And suddenly, from nowhere, a couple of errors on first the forehand and then the backhand side gives Jozef Kovalík a chance to move a break in front in this second set. 2 of them, in fact. And a third error. And in the blink of an eye, it's the underdog who is back in control of this set.
4 games to 3.
A break in front once again as this topsy-turvy affair in round 1 continues in Stockholm. Still to come today, and next up on centre court, Andrea Vavasori of Italy against fellow qualifier Pavel Kotov of Russia. Then it'll be the wildcard Elias Ymer, who has won the doubles title with his brother Mikael here in the past. Swede up against the 8th seed from the United States, Francis Tiafoe, who scored some very eye-catching wins on tour this year. Our final match of the day, the man who knocked out Jozef Kovalík in qualifying, Denis Istomin, up against Serbia's Filip Krajinovic, good friend of Novak Djokovic, of course. Well, it's been a mixed bag today from Peter Gojowczyk. He's hit some tremendous winners with great power on both the forehand and backhand side, some notable backhand winners up the line and cross-court. But lost his timing a little off the ground in the previous game, and it proved expensive as he coughs up his serve for the second time, having saved 2 set points on his way to that tie-break first set. So he's got to try and restore parity again, otherwise we're going the distance here. Lost his radar a little in the last couple of games, Gojowczyk.
30-15.
Yeah, inside the baseline. So a new lease of life here for Kovalík, having got his second break of this set, and now with a great chance to consolidate that break. And in turn, set his sights on a decider here. Well played. Stepping in to put away the volley. Good aggressive intent from Kovalík, who is very much back in contention here. It's been a good response to the manner in which he lost the first set. Gojowczyk with it all to do if he's to win this without need of a decider at 3-5.
Net, first service.
Kovalík really picking his game up here. Just wasn't enough angle on that backhand from Gojowczyk. Plenty of space. You just feel that Gojowczyk is getting a little frustrated here. He would have backed himself, having won a set he nearly lost, to really push on in this one. It's not happened for him though. And 2 set points for the lucky loser.
30-40.
Oh, so frustrating for the Slovak, having defended brilliantly to keep the point alive when it looked on a couple of occasions as though Gojowczyk had won it. How important is that going to be? That is a big hold. Well, not quite a hold yet, but from 15-40 down, 3 big points for Gojowczyk, and if he can hold, well, that's going to really put the pressure on Kovalík in the next game.
First service.
Yeah, he did well there to respond to the net cord.
Yes.
Made sure he got this ball nice and deep. Force Gojowczyk into the defensive lob, which he's swatted away.
Advantage Gojowczyk.
Tremendous power right at the top of the bounce, absolutely climbed into that one. So from 2 set points down. The volley is long.
Yes.
Huge game, clearly. If Kovalík wins it, then we're going the distance. But if Gojowczyk, having saved the set points once again, can hold on, maybe not. But he's going to have to fend off another one.
Mr. Kovalík is joining the call on the left far sideline. Ball was called out.
So a game lasting very nearly 5 minutes. It could well have some way still to travel. I think Kovalík is going to fail with this Hawkeye challenge. The pressure will really be on Kovalík's shoulders. It wasn't the serve he was challenging, it was this ball on the sideline or not, as the case may be, and it was wide.
Constance, yes. Mr. Kovalík is challenging the call on the right service line. Ball was called in.
Hawkeye's getting a good old workout here. This time it is the serve that Kovalík is challenging. He hasn't had a lot of joy with his challenges today, and he's not going to have any here.
Constance, advantage Gojowczyk.
So having saved 3 set points here,
no more challenge remaining.
and now Kovalík out of challenges. Gojowczyk looking to turn the screw, and if he can hang on, what kind of impact is that going to have on Kovalík? Particularly given what happened at the end of the first set when he had 2 set points, eventually lost it in the breaker. Now he's got a serve for this second set, 5-4.
We can make fashion slow and sustainability fast. We look forward to a brighter future, and we're excited to make the ride more powerful and the journey even more fascinating. We can make anything, but whatever we make, let's make sense.
Peter Gojowczyk, who's hitting his ground strokes at an average 7 kilometers an hour faster than Jozef Kovalík. He does hit the ball tremendously hard and clean, capable of spectacular winners. Can he now break, get back into contention in this second set? So this fascinating first match of our second day here at the Stockholm Open. Still potentially a long way from completion, although Peter Gojowczyk, who saved 3 set points just now, may now fancy his chances of getting back on terms here with the lucky loser, replacing the unwell Marcus Giron in the draw at very short notice. Jozef Kovalík having twice been a break-up in this set. He still is, but now he's got a serve to clinch it.
15-11.
2 set points at the end of the first set, remember. Saved brilliantly, it must be said, by Gojowczyk, but that's exactly the start the Slovak was looking for. So back comes Gojowczyk.
15-0.
Second serve points won from Kovalík, now at 43%. No joy with the tweener. He must have thought that he'd done enough with that forehand up the line. But it was good defence from Kovalík on the stretch here. It proved to be a very effective lob, landing just inside the baseline. That's a potentially big point here. Oh, it's long. One of the best exchanges of the match. Some great footwork from Kovalík. In the end, though, it was Gojowczyk who had the chance to have the final say. And has just pushed that backhand long. That was a great retrieve, and it proved to be very significant. Relieved to see that one go long, and so 2 more set points, his 4th of this set, to take us all the way. It's long. That looked a little tight, that backhand.
40-30.
The court was gaping. Set point number 5. And he nails it with an ace. And you can't say that Jozef Kovalík doesn't deserve a deciding set. He's given a great deal to this match, having found out barely an hour before play started, if that he'd be playing after the withdrawal of Garone. And the lucky loser has taken Peter Gojowczyk the distance. 1 set each. Well, we've talked about the stickability and resilience of Gojowczyk, but Kovalík has shown plenty of that in this second set. When you consider he lost the first after having 2 set points, got a break up, that was retrieved, managed to get the second break, and then nearly broke Gojowczyk again, missing the 3 set points, but he's held firm when it mattered right at the end of that set to take it by 6 games to 4. The serving stats a good deal better from Gojowczyk in that second set, although his second serve not as well defended as he did in the first, and ultimately he didn't get the result that he got in the first. And after an hour and 47 minutes of fluctuating tennis here in Stockholm, we're going to need a final set to determine who goes through to the round of 16. So a third set will be required to determine our first winner of the day here on the second day of the Stockholm Open. Still to come after this match, Andrea Bassabori against Pavel Kotov, the two qualifiers from Italy and Russia respectively, and then it'll be Elias Ymer, the home favourite, against Francis Tiafoe, the 8th seed here, before qualifier Denis Istomin takes on Filip Krajinovic, former runner-up in this event, in our final match on centre court. Andy Murray has been tweeting about how much he likes the fact that this tournament is held at an actual tennis club. Of course, it was first staged back in 1969. It is a wonderful venue here at the Kungliga Tennishallen, the Royal Tennis Hall. And of course, Murray very much involved in this event. The wild card, former world #1 up against Viktor Durasovic. And if he wins that, he will play our top seed and 4 times titleist this year, the next genner, Jannik Sinner, for a place in the quarter-finals. What a match that could be. Of course, Durasovic will have other ideas. Murray has scored some impressive wins of late. The likes of Alcaraz and Hurkacz. So it'll be fascinating to see how he goes indoors here in Sweden. But in the meantime, we need a final set to determine who's going to go through between Jozef, Kovalík and Peter Gojowczyk.
Mr. Kovalík is turning the goal on the left far sideline. Rose goal in.
Well, I think this might be one of the rare occasions where the lucky loser might have a case in point. Yeah, it was wide. It looked wide.
Second.
Hasn't had much joy with Hawkeye today, but on this occasion he did. So second serve.
Game, Gojowczyk.
And from Gojowczyk's point of view, after the disappointment of losing that second set, exactly what he required, a comfortable service hold at the start of this decider. Crowd building up as we head into the late afternoon here in Stockholm, with a lot of tennis still to come here on centre. But they've had value for money in this one. First set well over an hour in length and lots of fluctuations.
White piece.
Bit of movement at the back of the arena. Just lost a little bit of his accuracy off the ground in that second set. Kovalík has been very consistent in the way he's gone about things today. Oh, but not for the first time. Gojowczyk looking a little suspect with his volleys. It's a decent drop shot. It was the right play with Gojowczyk rooted behind the baseline. But having got there, he'll be disappointed not to make the volley.
Game, Kovalík. Ball change, please.
So two love service holds at the start of this decider.
1 game.
Still very much up for grabs, this match. A lot more rhythm now on Gojowczyk's serve than there was. He was struggling desperately with it in the early stages. So, a bit of pressure once again here on the German. Just keeping the ball deep with slice, forcing Gojowczyk to generate the pace, and he's overcooked the forehand. And so, another chance. Kovalík to break.
Left for service.
Gojowczyk clearly not convinced that that was a let cord. Feels as though it was Some distance over the net, but he lands the first serve at the second attempt. He is a tough cookie. Tends to channel his frustration in a positive way, which is why he's won matches regularly from precarious positions. And there's an example, clearly frustrated, but responding with 2 good points. Although, again, Kovalík is going to resort to the technology. Without success, he's had precious little of it in that regard today.
Advantage Gojowczyk.
That's more like it, and that's a really good way to finish the third game of this final set from Peter Gojowczyk, who's managed to save 6 break points today, and he was able to fend off another one there to stay ahead on serve in the final set at 2-1. Great field here in Stockholm this year. Jannik Sinner, of course, top seed. Fantastic year that he's had so far with 4 titles. Felix Auger-Aliassime still searching for his first, having made 8 finals. Defending champion Denis Shapovalov, who lifted the title 2 years ago. Of course, this tournament wasn't staged last year for COVID reasons. Dan Evans is in the field. Taylor Fritz, who's been tremendously consistent in recent weeks, made the final in St. Petersburg. Francis Tiafoe, and of course, wild card Andy Murray. Well, it's still tough to call, isn't it, this match? It's been engrossing stuff. Both players have been on top during periods of it. Peter Gojowczyk managing to fend off yet another break point just now to stay in front on serve in this decider. Reminder that the winner will play the 6th seed, Alexander Bublik or Arthur Rinderknech. Shapovalov, the defending champ, waiting the winner of our next match between Vavasori and Kotov, the qualifiers. And Auger-Aliassime, the number 2 seed, to play the Istomin or Krajinovic. Ace from Kovalík, and that is our final match of the day, Istomin Krajinovic. Talking of Andy Murray, he will be in action on day 3 here in Stockholm. The aforementioned Bublik and Rinderknech will get our coverage underway at 2 o'clock local time. That's followed by Pedro Martinez against Emil Risavori, the Spaniard against the Finn. Then it's Murray against Jurasovic, the qualifier. And Gerasimov against Taylor Fritz, the 5th seed here, will complete another eye-catching lineup for day 3. Wow. Well, he's hit the ball hard today, none harder than that forehand. Very quick racket arm, tremendous speed. So, Gojowczyk with some potential here. Second serve at 30 all. Oh, he'll be frustrated. He set the point up with the depth of the forehand, but didn't do nearly enough with the high ball. And in the end, it was a relatively easy paddled forehand cross-court to win the point, and a crucial one at that for Kovalík. Again, he unloads with that inside-in forehand.
Advantage Kovalík.
Ace number 7. His first serve percentage has dropped off a little. Well left.
Yes. Advantage Gojowczyk.
From ball 1 today, Gojowczyk has gone out of his way to really attack that second serve of Kovalík's. So, a chance to get the all-important break. 46% of his second serve points won in the match now for the Slovak. Be relieved to see that one sail wide. Saved 7 of his 10 break points faced today. Beg your pardon, that's Gojowczyk, who's saved 6 out of 9. And now 3 out of 5 for Kovalík.
Advantage.
He's going to get another chance though. Oh, brilliant. Really steely stuff here from Kovalík. It was a good return. Gojowczyk read the serve up the tee, but an emphatic finish under pressure from the lucky loser. There you go. Both players have created a lot of chances to break. 5 breaks in all from the 15 break points. Really excellent. Again, creating the opportunity by opening up the court with that perfectly placed off forehand, getting Kovalík on the stretch and then finishing it off up the line. Another marathon game, well into its 8th minute. A crucial one, of course. Can Gojowczyk get the break? Get himself in the ascendancy here. It's not always easy for the player who was expecting to face a different opponent. And of course, Gojowczyk was keyed up to play Marcus Giron of the United States before his late withdrawal. This time, backhand lets him down. But clearly far from ideal from his opponent. For his opponent either, given how little time he had to prepare for this encounter. He's done well. Kovalík was getting ready to call upon Hawkeye's services again there, but it did go wide. So fended off the break points. Now there's a chance to level up.
Yes. Left for service. Advantage Kovalík. Wait, please. First service.
And finally,
game Kovalík.
Jozef Kovalík hangs on.
2 games all.
What a marathon that was. This set already 26 minutes old, just 4 games completed, but yeah, real resilience from the lucky loser. This match still very much in the balance. Gojowczyk's turn to be frustrated that he couldn't convert the chance to break. just wide.
15-0.
Previous game was the longest of the match in a match that has featured a few long ones, 11 minutes. And that was a pretty lengthy rally as well. Kovalík outlasting Gojowczyk. Who's going to score the first break of this deciding set?
30-15.
So Gojowczyk making up for the disappointment of not quite being able to secure the break in the previous game by holding serve himself as he edges in front at the midway point of this deciding set. It's a bruising encounter here in Stockholm, and it's still very much up for grabs. It's proved to be quite a battle. Any sense that the lack of preparation that Jozef Kovalík had ahead of this match would impinge on his performance have been dispelled. He's been very consistent. He's had moments of frustration, not least the first set, which he was within a point of winning on 2 occasions, only to lose the tie-break. But he's fought back to force the decider, and he's got every chance still in the decider here. Day 2 of the Stockholm Open. 3 matches still to come at the conclusion of this marathon battle, which has a 3-hour look about it at the moment. Andrea Vasafori against Pavel Kotov next. Elias Ymer and Francis Tiafoe will then go head-to-head before Denis Istomin, qualifier from Uzbekistan, takes on Filip Krajinovic. Istomin, who famously toppled the then 6-time Australian Open champion Novak Djokovic at the Australian Open back in 2017 in the 4th round when he was ranked at 117 in the world. Djokovic, of course, having just secured a record-breaking 37th ATP World Tour Masters 1000 title in Paris, at the expense of Daniil Medvedev, to avenge his US Open final defeat. Of course, he'll also finish the year as #1. Wild there from Kovalík. The reaction. Yes, a record 7th year-end #1 finish for Novak Djokovic, who of course will be looking to end the year on a high in the World Tour Finals in Turin. That gets underway at the end of this week. That is a measure of how close it is, just 2 points between them. Now then, is this a window of opportunity for the German? Shank. Suddenly, Kovalík just struggling a little, finding himself in jeopardy at 15-40. Good serving under pressure. Needs another one. Gojowczyk's turn to vent his fury, not keeping that rally going at break point. There really is nothing to choose.
Advantage Kovalík.
Both players have now had 9 breakpoint opportunities in this match, but only 5 have been converted between them.
The call on the left service line. Ball was called in.
Gojowczyk looks pretty confident that this serve was just wide of the centre line. In fact, it was long.
Kovalík on second serve.
Again, very aggressive intent from the German as he looks to get what he hopes would be a decisive break in this bruising battle. There's always a chance that he might not have to play at all, of course. He could have got a walkover had there not been a player willing to take Garonne's place. If he does come through, he'll certainly be battle-hardened for his next round. Wanted to play the Bublik or Rinderknech, but of course that's a big if at the moment. Kovalík still very involved in this, and with a point now to level again. And he's done so.
Kovalík. 3 games home.
Well, they've battled now for the best part of 2.5 hours, and still neither can subdue the other. A 10th ace from the German. First serve percentage is still operating at below 50.
Action was good.
Overall from the chair.
He's challenging the call. On the left near sideline, ball was called in.
So Manuel Absolute overruling the call of out. He says it's good, and now that in turn has been challenged by Gojowczyk. Let's have a look. Oh, it was wide.
Call is Everton. 40
So 3 game points to edge back in front.
Left. Second. Game, Gojowczyk.
So a rather more serene service game from Gojowczyk compared with the 11-minute marathon we had just now. So we remain on serve in this decider. Gojowczyk 4-3. Just a reminder of the matches still to come on this second day here in Stockholm. Andrea Vavasori of Italy against Pavel Kotov is next up here, and then it'll be Elias Ymer, the wild card, the home favourite against Francis Tiafoe, the 8th seed. Dennis Isterman, who qualified at the expense of the guy facing Gojowczyk today, plays Filip Krajinovic. It's been a really impressive effort from Jozef Kovalík of Slovakia, given how little time he had to digest the fact that, having been knocked out by Isterman in qualifying, he was going to get a crack at Peter Gojowczyk. He's certainly given it a crack, hasn't he? What a match this has proved to be. A real marathon battle here. Very little to choose between them. Kovalík has been the more consistent of the two. We've seen the explosive power and shot-making from Gojowczyk, but we've also seen him battling against his serve for most of the match, although he has picked it up from a very low ebb in the first set. And still, they're locked together.
15-0.
Third double fault for the Slovak. Came under pressure in his previous service game, managed to fend off Gojowczyk's chance to break. Just collected that beautifully up the line. A decent return.
30-15.
Just overcooked the volley. At times he's looked a little insecure at the net today. He's certainly not afraid to get up the court to try and finish off the point, but Not always successful in that regard. Needed a bit of help from the net cord.
Game Kovalík. 4 games on.
So are we heading the way of a second tie-break in this protracted battle today? Although Kovalík's loss of the first set was the second tie-break he's lost this year on tour out of 2. Of course, he did win a couple of breakers in qualifying in his first round victory over Danilo Petrovic. He then lost to Isterman 6-4, 7-5 before getting the very late call today that he'd have another crack at it. Needs a bit of work on the collection of the racket. And this is what Gojowczyk will want to do, try and race through this service game, pile the pressure straight back on his opponent as we reach the sharp end of this first round match. Slightly different dynamic when you're serving to save a match, as Jozef Kovalík will now have to do. Big ace from the German. Is this going to be the moment that he makes the all-important breakthrough to go through? So we're reaching the climax of our first match on this second day of the Stockholm Open. It's been quite a battle. The lucky loser from Slovakia has given it everything and may yet prevail, but he's now got the extra pressure, Jozef Kovalík, of having to serve to save the match. Both players have created numerous opportunities today to break. As it is, we've had 5 breaks of serve in all. Gojowczyk serving, or rather saving, set points in the first set before taking it on the tie-break. Kovalík in turn then took the second by 2 breaks of serve to 1. But we've yet to have one in this decider.
30 love.
Crowd enjoyed that one. And so, a huge point coming right up. Is Kovalík going to pay the price for overcooking that backhand? Potentially 2 points from defeat. Yeah, once again, and for the umpteenth time today, Gojowczyk pinning Kovalík back off the second serve. And the forehand cross-court has given him the opportunity to finally put this match to bed. But again, Kovalík holds firm. Both players have shown a lot of grit and determination at various points in this battle. Oh, amazing, amazing. Gojowczyk, incredibly frustrated that he couldn't put the smash away. Kovalík did so well, though, to stay in the point here and make that pick-up very awkward. He got the ball right down at the shoelaces of the German, who couldn't control it back into play. What a big point that was. You see the discrepancy. Kovalík having to work a whole lot harder to hang on to his serve. Nice. He's going to challenge, but it looked as though it caught some of the line at least. And if it has, it's going to be a second match point for Gojowczyk. How will the technology see this one? Here it comes. Inside the line.
Advantage Gojowczyk.
Match point number 2. Match point number 2 saved. Well, you can't argue that Jozef Kovalík has made the absolute most of this unexpected second crack here in Stockholm after losing in qualifying. given these fans something to remember. It's been a titanic battle.
Advantage Kovalík.
And it's far from done. Another game of serious duration. We've had an 11-minute in this set. The match now well over 2 hours and 40 minutes. And on we go. Well, you've got to give Jozef Kovalík a lot of credit.
5 games all.
Tremendous fight he's shown today. Is he going to be ultimately rewarded in this 54-minute deciding set? Try as he might, Peter Gojowczyk has just not been able to break his spirit, or indeed his serve, as often as he would have liked. This time the tweener clears the net, but the result is the same. It's an easy put away for Kovalík. When you consider the circumstances in which he lost the first set, having had 2 set points, to recover as he has, very impressive mentally. Now suddenly it's the higher ranked player who has to contend with an awkward spot at 15-30, 5-all, having twice had the chance to clinch the match, albeit that Kovalík played those match points well. And now he's in real bother.
15-40.
So the world number 85, ranked 50 places above his opponent, is facing 2 break points, having had 2 match points come and go. Oh, goodness. What a way to cough up serve at an absolutely vital moment in this marathon match. A double fault. Jozef Kovalík, who was twice a point away from defeat, now has the chance to serve it out.
We can make anything. We can make ideas.
Well, there have been so many twists and turns and momentum shifts in this match that you'd be brave to assume that that is the decisive moment, but what an opportunity now for Kovalík to vindicate his decision to accept the late call-up to play this match, having lost in qualifying to Denis Istomin. But what a way, equally, for Peter Gojowczyk to lose his serve with a double fault. This was the tweener from earlier in the game, which was never going to be good enough to win the point. And then the double fault proving to be extremely costly. Will it cost him the match? We shall see. Well, there are still 3 more matches to come, and I think already the Stockholm Open crowd will feel they've had their money's worth in this match alone, getting on for 3 hours on court. Fascinating fluctuation from set to set, game to game. And right now, it's very much advantage the lucky loser from Slovakia. World number 135, Jozef Kovalík, with a chance to serve for what would be a memorable victory for him when he must have assumed his tournament was done and dusted just a few hours ago before he got the call to replace the unwell Marcus Giron of the United States. Serving for the match. How he would dearly love to keep that first serve percentage up now. Very awkward ball again, mid-court, having to pick up the half volley. He couldn't do so. You certainly wouldn't rule Gojowczyk out. Spoken at length about his resilience. He's won more matches than he's lost this year, having been a set behind. Of course, today he won the first set. In that run at the US Open, he was behind in 3 consecutive rounds, only to come through. He's running out of time, but there's still plenty of fire left in the belly. Well, there was an awful lot of court for him to aim at, and he made no mistake. Another one of those bullet forehands on the run, up the line, both feet off the floor, spectacular stuff. He's not holding back in these chastening moments for him, trying to stay in the match by breaking back, and he's got the chance to do so at 15:30. But that one just wide. Great serve, just when he needed it. Well, what a match this has been. A few minutes ago, he saved 2 match points, and now it is the lucky loser, Jozef Kovalík, who has a match point of his own. He's done it. What a battle, what a bruising encounter, and what a performance from the lucky loser, Jozef Kovalík, who only found out he was playing this match, what, an hour before he took to the court, but he has seen off Germany's Peter Gojowczyk from the brink of defeat, saving 2 match points. That is a win he is unlikely to forget in a hurry. He's through in 2 hours and 51 minutes, 6-7, 6-4, 7-5. Well, what a match that was. It had so many different facets to it, all kinds of twists and turns, but you've got to admire the resilience of the lucky loser. Ultimately, he deserved it, having overcome the disappointment of losing the first set from having had set points. He is through, and he'll be highly delighted. He's into the last 16.
Joseph, you lost the qualification final yesterday. but suddenly you're in the second round in the main round. Congrats. How does it feel?
Yeah, I mean, if you asked me yesterday, I cannot believe you. So I'm very happy, and I was glad in the morning I can have a second chance in this tournament.
And 3 sets drama, a real thriller.
Yeah.
When did you feel that it was in your hand?
It was a very tough match. I played against him before. He's so strong player. He played really fast. So I was trying to improve from the yesterday, and I was just focused on my game, and I want to believe I can win, and I'm really happy I did it today.
What do you think of the next round here in Stockholm?
Sorry?
What about the next round? Your expectations here in Stockholm?
Not really, actually. I didn't see the draw. I just get into the draw, so I didn't know the opponent for the next round. So I hope it will be same like today. I wake up in the morning, try to just enjoy and believe to win next match.
See you again, and big congrats.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Jozef Kovalík.
Congratulations indeed. What a hard-fought victory that was, and given the circumstances, all the more special for Jozef Kovalík, and no great surprise. He's not sure who he's playing next in the draw, because he wasn't even expecting to be in the draw just a few hours ago, but he's well and truly in it now. He is through to the round of 16. Well, where to begin with a match with so many fluctuations? This is the tail of the tape, and really the story today for Peter Gojowczyk, who was on the cusp of victory himself, of course, with 2 match points, was his first serve percentage, which he did pick up as the match went on, but from a very, very low starting point in the first set. He did manage to take that set, of course, and he had 2 match points, but ultimately he couldn't convert Kovalík through. Well, he didn't know who he'd be playing next, and no wonder, given that he wasn't even expecting to play today, but we can confirm that next up for Jozef Kovalík, it'll be either Alexander Bublik, the 6th seed, or Arthur Rinderknech of France. And also in that section of the draw, of course, is our defending champion here at the Stockholm Open, Denis Shapovalov, who won the title 2 years ago, the last time this event was staged. Of course, as a seeded player, he gets a bye into the round of 16. Vavasori or Kotov up next for him. And speaking of Vavasori and Kotov, they will be up next here. Our second match of the day here in Stockholm, the 2 qualifiers doing battle. And then after that, it'll be Elias Ymer, the home favourite, the wild card, against Francis Tiafoe, who's had a season to remember, the 8th seed from the